Hello and welcome, y'all. We are doing another Soulmask video today, and on this one, we are going to be going through the first dungeon. There are a couple things I would recommend making sure that you have beforehand. I do recommend doing this with bronze gear, at least. You can attempt it with bone gear, you might be alright, but I definitely recommend bronze. Make sure you have at least about 10 to 15 corrosive tanks, and make sure you have your healing and a fast mount with you. You can kill some of the plunderers at the beginning of this dungeon or this cave to get some corrosive tanks if you don't have any already. That is perfectly fine. You can also run through here and kill everybody beforehand if you want to. I personally don't, just because of the durability loss between the beginning of the cave all the way up until the dungeon, and the durability loss that you would get throughout the dungeon and killing things. I don't really like carrying extra weapons or armor and things like that personally. So if you want to, go for it. It is XP. At the same time, I just usually bypass this whole first part. So we showed on the map where to go for the dungeon. We're now just bypassing everybody. Alright, we made our way to the dungeon door. Some NPCs may keep shooting at you, but once you get up here to this last door, they usually don't go any closer, so they won't actually run up here and do it. You will have 3 mechanical beings, I guess, creatures, robots inside here. What I would recommend is putting the corrosive tank on your hotbar, and then hitting each one with the corrosive tank. This helps your damage to be much, much higher than without. Plus, your weapon will not just bounce off. So, you'll smack all the way through. I recommend a blunted weapon, like the hammer. A friend of mine likes to run through and use the gauntlets. I have found that both work really well. My preference is just hammer because I like big, smashy things, so that is my preference. But the gauntlets actually do work pretty well with these smaller guys, at least. So once you've killed all 3 here, you're going to go to the right. Take this first door here. It's fine to have your mount follow you at this point. You're going to want the mount because of weight. The items that you pick up in this dungeon are very, very heavy. So that is the main reason why I recommend it. 2 more guys in this first room. Take care of them pretty quickly. And as you notice, the loot that we're picking up, we are getting the crystals, like the stones, but we're also getting these metal chunks. These metal chunks are going to be your first look into iron. So I know me personally, I tend to farm this dungeon quite a few times just to get at least enough iron for the upgrade for the bench, for the maybe first couple weapons or so. And then that's when I venture off to actually get the iron nodes themselves. So, but this will be a good start for you. To iron is a good, easy way to get it. So. There we go. Now, of all these 3 doors, there's no real right or wrong to picking them. other than the fact that one of them does lead up to the top area. So that one you'll definitely want to wait, as we're seeing here. This is the one that leads up top. So this one we don't need to go to first. We'll go ahead and look at it real quick here. You don't actually have to go ahead and do this one first. This top area, you can look around. Alright. On to the next. Got 2 in this room. We have some more of those metal chunks. And then we are moving on to our first section here with a key. There we go. Once you hit that, the door opens, and we have another little guy. There we go. And you get a loot box. So in that, you'll get your coal, you'll get your talc, you'll usually get a durability mod, which is very handy. But we also get our first portal piece. There will be 3 in this dungeon, so make sure you do not miss all 3. This is one of the reasons why I recommend a mount, because those portal pieces are heavy. I think one of the pieces weighs about 50, so definitely gonna want some help with that. We're on to the next room. One little guy over here to the right. You might get lucky and get one of these that are malfunctioned where they just don't do anything. It's kind of nice. But I usually don't end up that lucky. Got some more coal, some more talc. Mod. Alright, we are on to boss. I do have a friend running with me just because they had never done the dungeon before. So I will be letting them kind of take the lead on this boss fight just because it's their first time. This guy does have a move there where he shoots. You can roll out of it. He has a move where he starts to spin. When he's in that spinning move, just make sure you keep rolling until he ends. Rolling away, rolling to the left or right, trying to get away. The hammer that you saw him smack me with a second ago, that will kind of stun you. So as soon as you see him whip that thing out, it's best to just kind of run away. Roll away. Lots of rolling. It does hurt. As you can see, I am in bronze gear. I have red bronze gear. I have red weapons. And I'm still getting pretty hurt. So just be very careful. There's that hammer again. And as you can see, I am not quick enough to roll away. he goes with the spinning, and this is where you just keep rolling away, because that right there, that can knock you down real fast. Another hammer. And I swear, every single time he whips it out, I get smacked. Every time. There he goes with the spinning again. When he's shooting like that, you can stand really close to him. I don't mind rolling away from it. That spinning. Yeah, that hurts. As you can see, my friend is over there using the gauntlets. That is what he prefers. And they're still doing pretty well with him. You get speed with those like you don't get with the hammer, even though the hammer has high damage numbers. The gauntlets are a little faster, so to me that's more of just a preference thing. Both seem to work okay. But the hammer definitely gives you more of a higher damage output. He goes with that spinning again. That right there, you can see how quickly my health just falls with that spin. Does not take long. And there you have it. I let him take the loot, but this is what we're looking at. You get some crystals, you get mods. Okay, and now we're gonna go back and go on to the next. So in this room, let him figure it out since, like I said before, this is his first time. This room has the little loot pyramid there. Definitely letting him be the one to loot it. I'm not going to show you guys what's in it. You can be surprised. But there is a very nice mod in there, amongst other little loot things. You also get your, you get the ability to recreate, or I guess remodel your tribesmen members. You get the machine to save them. You also get the machine to bring them back. The machine that you save their data in, you can do other things as well, which we won't get into right here. But I definitely recommend picking up those two machines that were off to our left there a bit ago. They are also very heavy, which is yet another reason why mounts are amazing. Yep, another little guy here. Take care of him pretty quickly. Basically just going back, making sure we're not missing any rooms. Because even if you accidentally bypass a room in this dungeon, it's pretty easy to go back and find it and, you know, pick up what you forgot. I myself have tried to run through it quickly and missed a room a couple of times. I've had to go back and grab it, so it's okay. Got another guy here. Take care of him pretty quickly. This guy is kind of like your first. He's technically like the first boss thing that you fight. The guy we fought earlier was the big boss. So we definitely did it out of order. Like I said, it's okay. As long as you go back, make sure you get all the rooms. The order you do them in doesn't technically really matter. So you can just go back and get what you forgot left off. But there is this mini boss guy here. He's not too bad. He does a lot of the same moves as the final boss. He's just not as tanky. He also has that spinning move, which is no fun. But got him done. You can see he's got some of the similar loot. He's got a crystal on him. So, not too bad. Alrighty. Go into the next room. This room takes you back down to the beginning, basically. Which we didn't really want that, but we're gonna go back up and grab the loot box. Just kind of double checking, make sure we didn't miss anything else. Got another durability mod in there, which is super handy. Alrighty. The doors over there we've already gone through before, so not too worried about those. Going back the way we came. At this point, you can have your mount following you again. Now, as you can see, there are traps in the dungeon, so just to be cautious. So when you step on that pad, that's basically what happens. You get shot with arrows. So if you stick to the left or the right, you can avoid it easy enough without even touching it. Another one of these keys. There we go. Got a little guy on the left. We've got another loot box over here. Alrighty, so now we have another one of the machines where you save the data and you save your PCs. To start off, you save 4, including your created character. So that means technically you only have 3 extras you can put in there to start. So it's not like you can go through and save every single person you have. You do have to kind of be picky. But I throw all those on the mount, and then I can move freely. So every time you beat a boss and you run through that hallway, you have the key, like we did the first time with the main boss, where you had that special loot box. That pathway off to the right is always going to be a shortcut out of the dungeon. So if you're done with the dungeon, you've hit everything, you can just leave that way. Me personally, I don't. I like to run through, make sure I didn't miss anything, just because I am very forgetful. I have ADHD, so I have to double check. But once you are done with everything on that right side, if you come to the left side, that door right here, it will not let you through. So you have to go find it. So we have to go get it activated, run through here. There is a little guy off to the right. Got a loot chest over there, but we have our key. And the door behind us will open automatically. At this point, it's okay for your mount to follow you. Keep in mind, anytime you do see a trap, I do not recommend for your mount to follow you. Sometimes if you're in the room and you call your mount to follow you and they run to you, they're fine. But I recommend not doing it. So right here, there's a trap. It's just safer to not have your mount following you. Got a guy off to the left. Go ahead and take care of him really fast. Nope. Hold a smashy smash. We have our final portal piece. So now we have all 3 pieces. We can technically go home and craft it, which that's a whole other thing we're not going to get into here. But again, this is why we have the mounts to get these out of here, because they are heavy. It's kind of finicky with being able to get the right angle to pick it up. So if you look at it, don't just assume right off the bat that you cannot pick it up. Keep moving around, because you definitely don't want to miss it just because you didn't see the option right off the bat. There was one time where I just assumed it wasn't something I could pick up, and I was told that I needed to do it, and yeah, so definitely make sure you do it. Alright, so we're making sure we are good to go. Checking everything one last time. You don't want to miss any doors. Here we go. I have missed a door, per usual. So, back like this. Traps. From the last trap. One guy off to our left. So this portal piece here technically is not the last portal piece. It's just because I forgot about this room. That's why I had to come back to it. So normally this would be your first or second portal piece. So yeah. I apologize that I am not a flawless badass dungeon crawler. But hey, I'm here to prove that if I can do it, anybody can do it, and it's possible for me to do it, even with my squirrel brain, so you got this. Okay. Back. One last door over here. So this room you definitely don't want to miss either. And I will show you here in a second. Got one last loot box. This is where you get your tech points. So you get 2 tech points by unlocking this. Definitely don't want to miss out on that at all. There you have it. Alrighty. Make sure you don't forget about the traps. Can't tell you how many times I have forgotten about the traps. And looking around, everything looks good. You cannot rely on the doors being open all the time because they do eventually automatically close. So keep that in mind. Just because the door is closed does not mean it's one you have not gone through. If you do that, you will be looping around in circles forever in this dungeon. But at this point, we've double checked, we've got everything, we're good. Now we can leave. The problem is we cannot ride our mount because if we do, the weight would be way too much. So now we are bypassing all the plunders on foot. This can hurt. Do be very careful if you end up having to do this. Um, like I said before, if you choose to fight everything on your way in and out, that is obviously perfectly fine. Me personally, I just like to bypass it. I'm usually farming for the iron or the resources inside, so I just want in and out quickly. I'm not too fussed by all the plunders. I have a friend who likes to kill everything because he runs a mask where he gets extra um, awareness killing humans. So he likes to run through and kill everything. So it just depends on your preference. But we have successfully completed the dungeon. We now have our first bits of iron on us. We have our machines, so we can save our people and not have to worry about them dying forever. So it is looking pretty good. Alrighty, well I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today, for letting me do a quick rough walkthrough of this dungeon. I hope that it helped you at least a little bit. I know it kind of was all over the place, but I wanted to give a real look at how it can kind of be sometimes. It's not always flawless and perfect, and if it's not, that's okay. You can still get through it, you can still get everything you need, you can still get it done, and that's fine. But I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. You're amazing!